Hi, this is Rachel Ariana, and thank you so much for watching my YouTube video today. Today, I'm going to go ahead and be sharing with you the 3 products I have been using and that have been working excellent for underneath my eyes. 1, to moisturize and prep my eyes before I use concealer, the concealer I use, as well as the powder that I use to set the under eye area. I am over 40. In fact, I am 43 years old, and so like with any other mature woman with mature skin, I do have trouble with finding products and finding things that will keep my under eye area from not looking cakey and crepey and just accentuates the lines underneath my eyes. So I think I have found that perfect combination, at least for me. So I am somebody who's willing to try things if they work, but because I am 43 years old, I've been around for quite a long time, and I have been buying products with the promise that it will get rid of those lines, or you're not going to see that crepiness under the eyes, or oh, the best powder for setting under eyes, which will not accentuate fine lines or wrinkles, which, you know, won't look crepey, and so on and so forth. I know we've all heard those promises. So I have finally, I think for me, have found that combination. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you what that is, okay? And so if you've watched any of my other YouTube videos, especially the beauty ones that I've created, you'll see a couple of these products there already. And the reason why you see them is because they're tried and true. I'm not going to be changing things up just to change things up, especially if it's something that doesn't work. And I would never share a concealer or a moisturizer on my channel if it didn't work, unless of course I'm doing a video of don't buy this, which I think I'm going to go ahead and start doing some of those just to help steer people clear of some products that YouTube swears by, but for me, at least in my opinion, have not worked. Okay, so this is what I'm going to share with you. The first product that I use under my eyes to help prep my eyes before putting concealer and setting powder underneath my eyes is this. Okay, so I have already talked about this, but this is the Kiehl's Creamy Eye Treatment with Avocado. There is just something about this product that has worked great for me. It goes on, it's very interesting because it's kind of tacky, but when it goes on, it has a very luminescent or oily look to it. However, when you apply products to it, like your concealer or my concealer that I apply, as well as setting powder, it doesn't slip. I've noticed that this doesn't create slippage. So what do I mean by slippage? So if you use certain eye creams and they're too oily, or there's just, you know, too creamy, that when you put your concealer on, the concealer, it literally slips and slides on the concealer, or on top of, or sorry, not the concealer, but on top of the moisturizer. It literally slips and it slides and it moves. This does not happen. And a little bit goes a long way with this. I love this stuff. So as I open it up and I show inside, I don't know if you can see that. I apologize if you can't. A little bit goes a long way. All I do is I just put a little bit on my finger, and I always do my ring fingers. So I only do about that much. And then I rub them together, and you can kind of see the consistency, like as it pulls apart. But I use about that much under one eye and under the other. I don't take it up around my entire orbital bone. I just use it specifically under my eyes here, knowing I'm going to put concealer on. So that's the way that I prep my eyes. Okay, so I'll do that in the morning time, and like, again, excellent product. Then the concealer that I've used, and I've been using for the longest time, I've tried many other concealers. I've tried NARS, I've tried Tarte Shape Tape, I've tried the Maybelline I'm sorry, the name is escaping me right now. I'll go ahead and put it in there, but they just, to me, don't live up to the hype per se. But again, keep in mind, this is my opinion, okay? But for me, this is amazing, and I still have it in the box, and this is the Lancome Effervescence Waterproof Concealer, and I love it. When you look at it, it comes in a tube like this. Same thing, a little bit goes a long way. I do not use a lot of this. It does have a squeezy top. I just put a little bit, about that much, okay? So a little bit on my fingers, and again, rub them between my ring fingers like this, and each finger I will use for each eye. And I just, the way that I do it, you know, I'm not a super perfectionist when it comes to my makeup, but the way that I will do it is I will place it underneath my eye, you know, all the way just along the complete under eye area. Don't do anything fancy with, you know, doing triangles or things like that you'll see on YouTube. I just put it where I need it. And then I use a small mini beauty blender to blend it underneath my eyes. So in the past, I've used the actual Beauty Blender brand to do that. But you know, it gets to be expensive. You get only 2 mini beauty blenders for what, $20 or a little over. I found these Real Techniques, and you know, Real Techniques has proven that they are an high quality brand. So I was able to get this on Amazon, I want to say for $7, a little, like close to $7 or about. And so this is the first little one that I took out of the pack. I will use this underneath my eyes, okay, to blend out my makeup. I've noticed the best thing for me anyway for underneath my eyes, well, actually my entire face, is just to use the beauty blenders or beauty type blender sponges such as this. For me, it works best. I don't like to move my skin around, especially underneath my eyes. Given that I am 43 years old, we're already losing elasticity in our skin. We're especially losing it around the eyes. The eyes are the first thing that really begins to show your age. So for me, don't like to move it around. I don't like to use brushes because of that. So especially on the skin underneath the eyes, I always will just blend. But I love these little beauty blenders because they're perfect, at least for me, to really get into the corners of the eyes and to get really up in that little corner down there to truly blend out and blend my concealer. Then once my concealer is done, the product I have finally found that I think is actually amazing and is great is the E.l.f. And I know this has been around, I think, for a couple years now. I actually had no idea that this has been around for a while because I thought I had found something that worked for me and I wasn't looking for anything in the moment or in the time. But what I ended up finding is the E.l.f. High Definition Powder. This is the loose powder. And the reason why I wasn't looking at E.l.f. products or E.l.f. In particular for powders is the last time I bought an E.l.f. powder product for under the eyes, if you all remember, their powder products used to be very small. They used to come in a little tiny container about that big. And it was a white powder similar to this, but the quality was completely different. I could be wrong. I mean, I don't have any of those anymore, but I feel like the quality is different. I remember when I first bought my little E.l.f. little powder for underneath my eyes, I used it and I thought it was horrible, to be honest. And that's when I started using, you know, the, you know, different more expensive under eye powders to set my makeup. But I am shocked and amazed at how amazing this is, especially for mature skin. So I use this underneath my eyes to set my powder, or sorry, to set my concealer, and I'll do the same thing. I always take a beauty blender to set underneath my eyes. So of course I'll open it up, dip it in there, and just press it in. I use quite a lot compared to what you see other more mature women use. The reason why I do that is because I find if I don't do a really good job setting underneath my eyes, it will still crease. There will still be some creasing for me. So I make sure that, not in excess, I don't bake underneath my eyes, but I definitely don't just do a little smidgen. Like I definitely put it in there, bounce it off a little bit, or actually, you know, it probably would make more sense for me to show you. So what I do, I open it up as you see here, and what I'll do is I will take my beauty blender here, sorry, I should probably show you. I'll smash it in just like that. And you see how that looks? There's a good amount on there. But then I'll take the lid and I just kind of bounce it off, and you can see some of it coming off. And there's still a good amount of product, right? There's a good amount of product, and then I'll press it underneath my eyes to set my makeup. There will be a bit of excess powder underneath the eyes. I suppose like baking, I don't really consider it baking, because baking, you see, they just pack it on, like the powder, it's not like that, it's just a little tiny bit on there left over. And I'll do the rest of my makeup, and then I will dust it off with a brush. And I notice my eyes will be set all day and they'll look amazing. But that's not the only powder I picked up from e.l.f. that actually works well underneath the eyes. Is I also picked up the Pressed Perfect Finish powder. Now I picked this up because any pressed powder is going to have some kind of oil in it, or something that's going to keep it together, to keep it within its little pan. So unlike what you have with the e.l.f. with a loose powder. So this is what it looks like. It has a mirror. I do the same thing, or I guess I shouldn't say the same thing, slightly different. Obviously, I'll take it and I rub my beauty blender in it, and there you can see. A little less messy process. Today, I'm actually using this today underneath my eyes. I set with this powder. Now, they're both amazing, in my opinion, for mature skin. At least for me, because I understand everybody's different, but at least for me, they have been great products. However, so you can get away with using either one. However, because this one does have a little bit of oil in it, you do have to be very careful not to do too much of an excess, and to make sure to kind of rub it off. So I'll rub off the excess of this on like a towel, and then I'll press it, because then this could start to look a little cakey. However, this has never looked cakey. Never. Both products are amazing, but if you are just gonna buy one, I would buy this one. So I'm very pleased with this. Again, I would never on my channel come on and tell you to buy something that I have not used and that I don't consider to be tried and true. So for me, this current method, and it's been a method that's been a while, these have been my tried and trues. I've been using these 3 years now, both of these in combination. The powders are something I have always have been trying to experiment with, because I found my concealer, I found my moisturizer for underneath the eye to prep the skin for this, but it's the powders I'm constantly looking for. So let me give you an example of what I mean by that. This is my more expensive powder. I bought this Becca Powder. And I think I did a video on it, comparing it to another powder another expensive powder that I used. I'll have to look up the name. I don't even remember it anymore. I mean, it's pretty bad that I don't remember it, but it's another high-end, well, I don't want to say high-end, but another well-known brand that's about $30 or more to buy. This was about 30 bucks for this, okay? Let's compare it to this, okay? Much more product in here than in here. I bought this a year ago. I hardly reach for it. I hardly use it. The reason why I hardly use it, and the reason why I've been on the search for a powder, is because it dries underneath my eyes. It makes me look cakey. There is a little bit of shimmer to it. It's there. There's a little slight bit of shimmer. I don't know if that is part of the problem with it making it look so cakey and dry, or whatever that mineral compound that is in there that will dry out the area. But I know that this will look very, very crepey. It will make my skin look crepey. It will look dry like a desert. This does not. This does not, for a fraction of the price. The other powder that I've used, and I think I did a video on this, or at least I explained it in one of my Get Ready With Me videos. I'm sorry guys, it's been a while since I've done a makeup video. Like, it's been over a year. So I'm kind of trying to get back into doing my makeup videos. But this is the other one that I bought by Becca. Now, I was using this and I thought this was good. Okay, I thought it was sufficient. Okay, I'm not amazed per se, well, especially now looking back using this, but this was sufficient. The reason why I got this and started using it under my eyes is it's the translucent powder by Becca. It's the Hydra Mist Set and Refresh powder. So again, being someone who is in my over 40, I'm always looking for something that will not make that under eye area look super crepey and dried out when I set the under eye. Like, I'm just gonna have to set the under eye. Like, I don't know. I know some women can get away with not doing it. I don't know how. I have not. I've experimented. I don't know how. Again, I don't know like how it works, but I know everybody's different. Like I keep saying, I have to set. So I thought, okay, well, Hydra Mist, that's, you know, that's gonna be good. It's gonna hydrate the underneath the eye area. Again, this does work pretty good. It's sufficient, it's good. Problem is with this is it does get cakey if you use too much of it. So my normal technically that I can with this, I could be a little more heavy-handed with this. I have to be very careful, just use a little tiny bit, really dust it off and then set. The other problem with using this was the color does come out. So you will see the color throughout the day, and I do notice it'll start to, you know, mix with or as it mixes with my under eye concealer, it darkens it up under there. And I didn't really realize like how much it did that until of course I saw myself like some, you know, pictures taken of me or some video, and then I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to go with something different. So that's what led me to look for or try something else. And I was at Walmart, and this is where I got this, and on a fluke I was like, you know what, oh my gosh, I had no idea that e.l.f. has another powder. I was completely unaware of that because I haven't been looking at e.l.f. you know, products. I keep thinking I need to buy these more expensive, more high-end products in order to, you know, to get good quality. And like I'm gonna say, I saw it and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try it. You know, there's gotta be something better than what's working right now, or at least I'm gonna see if there is. And I think I found it, okay? These things. Now that's not to say it's not gonna change. I don't know. But all I know right now, this is amazing. Like it's amazing. I mean, I'm gonna kind of set this one down because this is still good, but I guess if you are going to, if you have to pick between the two, I would go with the loose powder. So just to kind of recap, my tried and true new, just God-saving, I mean, I'm in love combination for my mature skin for underneath the eyes. Just a quick recap is this. It's the Kiehl's Creamy Eye Treatment with avocado. It's my trusty Lancome, and I know I'm saying this wrong, Epicernus waterproof concealer, as well as this e.l.f. HD powder. Okay, again, amazing products. Oh yeah, and of course I cannot forget about mini beauty blenders, especially if you're using for that area of the eye. Also, what I do also like to use this for is to also go down the bridge of my nose. It actually works perfectly if you want to put the powder along the bridge of your nose. Just a little side note, that's what I like that for. So to me, these are amazing products. I love them. For right now, I don't, you know, plan on changing up that routine, simply because if something works, why continually change it? And that is something that definitely has worked for me. So if you are over 40, if you are looking for a combination of things that will work underneath your eyes to make it look less cakey or crepey or your fine lines accentuated, I really suggest you give this combination a try, because And the technique too of using the beauty blender to blend it out, as well as and the beauty blender to use the powder to press into the under eye area. So anyway, with that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and you feel like it is helpful to you, I will be doing some more beauty videos, as well as just my normal cleaning videos that I do and so on. I just kind of do whatever I want, okay? You're gonna get whatever I feel like doing each week. Thank you to those of you that are subscribed to me. I am very happy that you're here, and I appreciate you so much. And again, if you're somebody who does like my content and you are not subscribed, please do so and hit the notification bell. All right, with that being said, I will see you in my next video. Bye.